Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is Kobe Bryant reveals a scary similarity between Kawhi Leonard and Michael Jordan. So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and ensure you hit the notification bell and make sure you get the videos when they come out. Also, check out Dreamerspro Max, an online sports community that we created. Place you can go and start basketball discussions, chat live during games, and so many other cool things. So if you guys want to check that out, be sure to check that out. We have that linked in the description below and get 7 days of access. And also make sure you click the join button to join the channel to receive loyalty badges, and also to ensure that your comments are responded to whenever you leave them on a video or whenever we go live. So make sure you go ahead and join the channel. Anyway, let me get into this video here. So during the Last Dance documentary, as y'all know, Kobe's been kind of circulating around the news, but during the Last Dance documentary, it revealed sort of the backstory, and it put Michael Jordan's career into context for people that didn't follow him or people who were not old enough to really experience that whole Chicago Bulls run, or really just see Michael Jordan from the moment he got into the league until the moment that he retired. And most of us caught the tail end of that, and this has a lot to do with just age, right? If you're at a certain age or you're below a certain age, you're not going to be able to know much about Michael Jordan. But I believe that Last Dance documentary did a major service to Jordan's legacy because it gave a younger audience sort of a behind the scenes look at Michael Jordan's career, right? In depth, to be quite honest with you. And what we got to see was, we got to see the early years and the challenges that Jordan had to face once he signed with the Chicago Bulls as a rookie, right? Y'all remember when Michael Jordan first got to the team, they didn't have the right culture. They were a losing organization. You saw a lot of the stuff that a lot of the teammate or a lot of the players on the team used to do. I won't get into the detail. Jordan already explained that in the documentary. And they just were not a very good team in the NBA. They were not a respected team. They had never done anything in the NBA, and they were just another team, just another team in the NBA. They had become used to losing. It's not like as if he joined the Los Angeles Lakers or the Boston Celtics. The Chicago Bulls were not that, right? They were nobody of a team. They were just another team in the NBA. And then Jordan got there, and Michael Jordan got to work. He got to work, and he spent years and years with the team, building that organization, building the culture. It all started with him, obviously. He was a difference maker. He became the best show in the NBA. He was a great player. So you put a player like that, a player that caliber on your team, good things are going to start happening for you, right? And the Chicago Bulls started to do well, although they weren't like a great playoff team, right? But they started to do well. They started to improve. People started to pay attention to him. A lot of that had to do with Michael Jordan, right? And think about this. As they were building building that organization up from the ground, it took Michael Jordan, think about this, 7 years. He spent 7 years of his career with the Chicago Bulls before he won his first title. I want you guys to put that into context, because I think today in the world we live in is an instant gratification kind of world we live in, right? You put a team together this year, they must win this year. If they're not this year, next year. If they don't win next year, it's a bust, blow it up. We kind of live in this type of universe now where things need to happen right now. If not right now, it needs to happen like in 5 minutes. And if it doesn't, things don't work out. Imagine if Jordan and the Bulls and these guys had the mentality that we have today. Just imagine that kind of short-sighted kind of mentality that we tend to have, right? And the Chicago Bulls, you just learned as an organization, they learned how to draft. They learned how to develop talent. They drafted Scottie Pippen. They developed him. Scottie Pippen didn't come into the NBA as an all-star. They developed him, I think, in his second or third year. That's when he began to hit his stride. Then they got the right coach. First, they had Doug Collins. Doug Collins wasn't really the guy that was getting it done. Doug Collins would put the ball in Jordan's hand. And then Phil Jackson and Tex Winter, if you guys know who Tex Winter, he's the architect of the triangle offense. Him and Phil Jackson had this synergy, and they had a different philosophy on how to win games and how a team should operate on the floor. Ultimately, they ended up signing Phil Jackson and promoting him to head coach. He was an assistant coach, and they made him the head coach of the team. Once they made that move, then the team started winning, right? They started breaking through. That's when they started winning titles. But the most important thing here, I think we need to take a peel away from this story, or for the first part of the story here, is that Michael Jordan took on the challenge. He took on the challenge of building the Bulls. At any point, he could have gone anywhere else. He didn't. He could have gone to go sign with the Lakers. He could have gone to the Knicks. He could have gone to the Boston Celtics. He built the Chicago Bulls from the ground up, and now they're one of the most respected organizations in all of sports. Forget about just basketball. In all of sports, you say Michael Jordan, it's synonymous with the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls is synonymous with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. That's what Jordan did when he decided to go play with them. And I was listening to Kobe Bryant earlier today, and I was listening to an interview about why he felt Kawhi Leonard, when he was asked, why did Kawhi Leonard go sign with the Clippers? Because Kobe at one point had the opportunity to go sign with the Los Angeles Clippers. And Kobe Bryant gave a very interesting take, something that I didn't think about. I heard this before, but it made me think again. So before I go too far, I want you guys to take a listen to what Kobe Bryant had to say about why he believed Kawhi Leonard decided to go sign with the Los Angeles Clippers. Take a listen to that audio.
But nowadays, everybody's a journalist, so I think it makes things a little different for young guys growing up now.
And you actually considered to join Clippers before, at one point of your career.
Yeah.
Do you understand why Kawhi chose Clippers over Lakers?
Well, I think he wanted the challenge of trying to turn the Clippers around. And I think he saw a great opportunity if Paul George wanted to participate in that challenge with him. Both kids are from LA, and Lakers was their favorite team, but you grow up and things change. So I think they both saw it as an opportunity, as a challenge to try to take a Clippers organization that's says all the right things, has been doing the right things in terms of turning the team in the right direction. They saw it as a great chance to jump in and be a part of it.
Now, in that soundbite, Kobe Bryant explains things in depth. Obviously, Kobe Bryant is a very good orator. No one will dispute that. I think he's probably, actually, to be quite honest with you, if you're looking at superstars, he's probably the best spoken superstar NBA player I think that's ever come out of the NBA. There've been a lot of guys, but I think he's the most thoughtful one. Kobe Bryant was a very smart dude. You can tell by the way he kind of explained his ideas and ultimately the things that he did, how he succeeded outside of basketball, winning Oscars and all of this stuff. Kobe was a very smart guy, very, very, very sharp, very, very, very sharp guy. And whenever he spoke in front of a bunch of people, you could tell that immediately that the guy was very, very sharp. But basically, he said that Kawhi Leonard decided to join the Clippers because of the challenge. He said he looked at that organization and said, okay, where can I go next after winning his title with the Toronto Raptors, a team that never won a title before? Already made history. One of the most impressive things in NBA history, to take a team that has never, I think, ever been to an NBA finals, took them to a finals and won a championship with them in just one season of being with that team. That's going to go down in history, right? That's going to solidify Kawhi Leonard as a top 15 player of all time anyway, because there are a few players that have gone out there and done that. LeBron James is another guy that comes to mind. But Kawhi Leonard saw a team that was kind of moving in the right direction, as Kobe explained it, and decided that, listen, how can I take this team over the hump, right? How can I take this team over the hump? And he decided to go play with the Clippers. He had every opportunity to go sign with the Lakers. That would have been the easy choice. That's what most people would have done anyway. That's what most people do anyway, right? He decided to take he took the more challenging path. Now, obviously, he went with Paul George because a smart person knows that if you're going to take on a challenging task, you want to put yourself in the best position to succeed, right? So he did that as well. Same thing with LeBron. LeBron went to Cleveland. He took on the challenge and winning the championship, but LeBron didn't go by himself. He looked at the situation that they had on ground. He said, okay, they have a very talented point guard. I can go, you add me, and let's go out there and get Kevin Love, and I think we got something, and let's build around this kind of these cornerstones of this team, and then we build around that. LeBron was smart. LeBron doesn't go by himself. A stupid person goes alone and tries to. That's just machismo. Like, oh, I can do it all on my own. I don't need anybody. That's a stupid person. But a smart person tries to put themselves in the best position to succeed, although they're undertaking a very challenging type of thing, and that's what LeBron James did. Right? And LeBron, that title that he won with the Cleveland Cavaliers is his most important ring, and it's the most impressive thing he's ever done in his career, to be quite honest. So you won a title with the Lakers, but really, who cares? It's just another title. It's one of 17. So what? To be honest with you, there've been other Lakers that have won multiple titles. So he's just another number in the system. That's really what it is, to be quite honest with you. If LeBron retired today, nobody's going to put him in the top 5 greatest Lakers of all time when others have been there and won 4 or 5 titles at least with the team. So not taking anything away from him, but I'm just explaining the difference here. So if Kawhi Leonard goes to the Clippers, wins it all, it works wonders for his resume. And he took on the challenge, right? And he doesn't get enough credit for that. Now, I understand Laker fans being a little bit salty. Say, oh, why you didn't? I get that, right? It's part of, if you're a team, you want the best player on your team, right? It's like the Clippers got Kawhi and PG, and if the Clippers had an opportunity to get LeBron, they would take him. Trust me, they wouldn't be like, leave. Clippers would take him, so I completely understand that. But I think, as Kobe explained it, that's the reason Kawhi Leonard ultimately signed with them, and ultimately may be the reason why he stays. Because is the job done yet? No. The job is not done yet. If Kawhi Leonard goes into free agency and he leaves, the task wasn't done. He would have been better off either staying with the Raptors or going to the Lakers. And you went to this team for 2 years, you didn't get what you want, so you left. Imagine if Jordan had that type of mentality. I've been here for 3-4 years. Let me go to another team. They didn't have that type of mentality then. They stuck it out and they tried to figure it out. Kudos to them, right? They didn't take the easy way. Sometimes, doing the thing that maybe is not as unpopular, it takes you longer. Our channel, for example, a lot of people say, why don't you put a lot of highlights? Why don't you put this, that? Why don't you put all of these things in the videos? We get that. First of all, I said it before, you don't own the majority of that stuff that you put out, number one. Number two, it's the easiest thing to do. Anybody can do it. Any and everybody can go on YouTube, pick up a mic, pick up a camera, and start doing YouTube videos and talking about basketball, putting their voice in a certain way, and then all of a sudden put highlights, and then, oh, I'm a basketball creator. That's the easiest thing to do. To stand flat-footed in front of a camera and talk, explain your subject, show people that you know what the hell you're talking about is a lot harder, and also being consistent is another thing. By doing that, it takes people a longer time to get it, but once people get it, they got it, right? And then you connect with people, and that's what keeps people coming back. I don't think people come back to watch highlight clips. You don't differentiate yourself whatsoever. If I ask you guys, name basketball commentators, you're not going to name a channel, you're going to name a person. So it takes people, it's a longer road to travel, but ultimately it pays off, and that's the same thing Jordan does. Nobody's trying to cut corners here. So what I want to know from you guys is, first of all, what do you think about Kobe's explanation? Do you think it makes sense? Do you think that's the thing that Kawhi Leonard is kind of weighing as far as he's making his decision this summer to whether to stay or leave? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day. Catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.